Hello friends and welcome back. In the last video we had learned that statistics deals with the collection, organization, presentation, analysis and interpretation of data. And in this video we are going to learn the first step of our investigation, that is collection of data. So let's start it. We know that to do an investigation we must have data with us. But here's the question arises that from where do we collect this data? There are two ways for this. Sources of data, first primary data and second is secondary data. Let me give an example to understand these two terms. Suppose that you want to find out the number of people living in your society. So there are two ways to collect this data. In the first way, you will conduct a survey. You go to each and every house and have an inquiry about each member of the data in that house. Okay, and if you do so, the data which you collect is the primary data because it is collected for the first time and it is the new information with you, new first hand information with you. So it is the primary data. And in the another way, you go to the secretary of the society and request you to give the records of number of people living in the society. So that data will be the secondary data because that data was already collected beforehand in the past by someone else and you just use that data for your research project. So it will be a secondary data. Okay, so now let's discuss definition of both the types of data. Primary data, it is the kind of data that is collected directly from the data source without going through any existing sources. Okay, this data is collected for the first time. We do not use the information already collected, but we collect it for the first time, the new information. And secondary data, it is the data that has been collected in the past by someone else but made available for others to use. So it has been already collected in the past by someone else and we just use it for our research project. Now we discuss some points of both the data. Primary data is original because it is collected for the first time, it is original, and the secondary data is not original because we collect it from any outside sources. Okay. Second is primary data is in a raw form. When we collect the data for the first time, we need to classify it and then we will present it in a attractive manner like tables or graphs or pie charts, etc. So first it will be in a raw form and secondary data is available in a finished form only. We need not to classify it the same. Okay. Next is primary data is more reliable because we ourselves collect the data. It is more reliable, and secondary data is collected from an outside source, so it is not much reliable as compared to primary data. Primary data is expensive and time consuming. It is obvious that when we ourselves collect the data, we conduct a survey for it, we meet the people face to face and ask the questions related to our inquiry. So it will be an expensive process and also time consuming. We need to spend more time, money and energy for this. And secondary data is much economical and a quick process because the data is quickly available to us from any other sources. For example, government reports or journals or newspapers, etc. Now, to collect the primary data, there are three methods for this. First is personal interview. In the personal interview method of collection, the investigator himself meet the respondent face to face and ask him the question related to the inquiry and have the answer. Second is mailing questionnaire. Suppose if the population is very large and it is not possible for the investigator to meet each and every people and have an inquiry about them, or if the people live at far and remote places, so it would be not possible to meet them face to face. Okay, so what the investigator do, they prepare a form like questionnaire and send to the respondents by mail or by post, anything, and ask them to fill it and return it within a given period of time. So this method is mailing questionnaire. Next is telephone interviews. In this method, the investigator make a call to the respondent and have an inquiry about them. Now we will learn the advantages and disadvantages of all the three methods. First is personal interview. Advantages. First, highest response rate. Here, as the investigator personally meet the respondents, they are happy to pass on the information. So there will be higher chances that the respondents will respond and give all the information properly. Next is allows use of all type of questions. Now there are certain questions, such delicate or sensitive questions, which the investigator cannot ask them in a questionnaire or form. Okay, so the respondents will only answer them if the investigator are in front of them. So in the personal interview, they can ask all type of questions to the respondents. Next is better for using open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are such questions which do not have choices in their answers. Like the answer is only yes or no. Okay, so that type of questions are closed-ended questions which limits the answers. But open-ended questions can be answered in many ways. So in the personal interview, it is better for using open-ended question and not to ask the close-ended questions. Next is allows clarification of ambiguous questions. If the respondents have any queries and if he cannot understand any type of questions, so here in the personal interview, the investigator can solve his doubts and can have the data. Now disadvantages. First, most expensive. As the investigator has to personally meet each and every respondents, it is a expensive method and it is the most expensive method than any other methods. Next is possibility of influencing respondents. There are certain questions to which the respondents feel embarrassed to give answers about them in front of the investigators due to many reasons. Okay, so there are chances that they might give the wrong answers. So there is a possibility of influencing respondents. Next is more time taking. It is obvious that when we collect the data by personal interviews, it will take more and more time. So we need to spend more time, money and energy on it. So it is more time consuming. Now for mailed interview, advantages. It is the least expensive method because here there are no expenses of meeting personally with the respondents. So it is the cheapest method of all the three. Next is only method to reach remote areas. This method is very useful when the field of investigation is very vast and the respondents are spread over a very wide geographical area. Okay, next is no influence on respondents. Because as there is no personal meeting between the investigator and the respondents, the respondents will not feel embarrassed by any type of questions. So there will be no influence on respondents and they will give the information proper. Next is maintains anonymity of respondents. It means that the respondent will remain unknown to the investigator and the institution which is collecting the data. There will be no personal touch between the investigator and the respondent. Now disadvantages. It cannot be used by illiterates. As if the person is not able to read and write the question and understand the question, he will not be able to write the answers in writings. Okay, next is long response time. Because of the carelessness of the respondent, he might not give the questionnaire within the given period of time. Okay, so it may take a long response time. Next is doesn't allow explanation of ambiguous questions. Here, if the respondent have any queries about the question or if he doesn't understand the question, there is no one to solve his doubts. So it doesn't allow any explanation of such questions. Now we will see the telephonic interviews, advantages and disadvantages. First, advantages. First is relatively low cost. Because here there are no personal meetings between the investigator and the respondents, so the expenditure of transportation will not be there. So it will be a relatively low cost method. Next is relatively less influence on respondents. Here there are less chances that the respondent give wrong answers because of feeling embarrassed by the questions. So there will be less influence on respondents. Next is relatively high response rate. In the mailed interview, the people might not be interested in filling the form and return it back. But here, there are chances that the people will respond, write correctly, and give proper information. Now, disadvantages. First is limited use. Here, telephonic interviews nowadays are not much popular and they have a limited use. Next, reactions cannot be watched. Here we can ask the questions personally by talking with the respondents, but their reactions cannot be watched, and so whatever the answer they are giving might not be correct, always correct. Okay. So next is possibility of influencing respondents. If the investigator asks some delicate or sensitive questions, it might happen that the respondent may get hurt by them. So their answers may be incorrect and they may not give proper informations. Okay.